The USS Truman Carrier Strike Group is now in the Middle East. The Truman went through the Suez Canal a month after leaving Norfolk. Truman was supposed to have deployed back in February, but was delayed by federal budget cuts that could reduce the number of carrier strike groups from 11 to 8 or 9. Then your side's Art Kohn's been following this story since it broke. And Art, this move would do more than reduce the number of aircraft carriers in the fleet, right?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. I mean, remember, we're talking about carrier strike groups, which include cruisers, destroyers, air wings, and of course, the men and women that operate them, as well as a lot of infrastructure. The nation, the Navy, and Hampton Roads will be affected if the Department of Defense actually goes through with this.
The Navy is already working with a reduced carrier presence, having only one strike group in the Arabian Sea and one in the Pacific. Prior to sequestration, there were 2 carrier strike groups in each region. There is also one strike group standing by, ready to surge or respond to a sudden crisis, and the national strategy used to require 3.
Combatant commanders say we need that many in order to do the job that we're assigned to do in the future. So we're not where we need to be.
If the Department of Defense reduces the number of carrier strike groups, the Chief of Naval Operations will be challenged even more to meet operational requirements.
When you're talking about a carrier strike group, a lot more than a carrier goes away.
Well, you have 3 other, you have the destroyers that go with it, you have the supply ships that go with it, you have a submarine that goes with it. You know, not only that, you have an air wing that goes with it.
Retired Rear Admiral Fred Metz, who was once the director of carrier programs, says the landscape will change as well.
Bases go away. You know, what's Congress say? No brag. Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
In a region where defense spending accounts for 47% of our local economy, we will all be affected by fleet reductions. Remember, the Navy already has plans to move an amphibious ready group to Mayport, Florida, and send more ships to the Pacific.
You start taking away from that, you know, just the people that have the houses, you know, the people that, you know, not only the maintenance, but the government employees.
Yeah, and there are 246,000 people here that are employed through the military. In the Navy alone, we have 86,000 people on active duty in Hampton Roads. Perhaps even more troubling, though, is the fact that reducing the number of carrier strike groups will, according to many experts, diminish the United States' role as a world power. Art Kohn, 10 on your side.